our monthly provider and resource fair. This month, we're going to be highlighting Morgan from RWJ's Institute for Prevention and Recovery. She will be introducing a new way to locate resources through findhelp.org. And then we have Nathan here from the Trans Equity Coalition. He will be discussing some of the services and resources they provide to the community. So, Morgan, I will hand it off to you. We'll have time for a Q&A at the end. So if there's any questions, just hold them till the end. And we have full screen sharing capabilities if you need it.
All right, let me just share really quickly. Bear with me, we don't usually use Teams, so. All right. Can we see?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. All right, hi everyone. Again, my name is Morgan. I'm from the Institution of Prevention and Recovery at RWJ, and I'm actually a family advocate that works with our Strengthening Families program, and I help Sarah Comey on the side with her social program. But yeah, so I'm here to talk about the social program, and it does use findhelp.org, but it's a different way to locate these resources for individuals and families. All right, so the social network is a vision that we had to bring faith-based leaders around the table to foster connection, collaboration, and provide resources and support with assisting families and individuals in their greatest time in need. So working with a small group of coalition members, we built the social program through GOMO Health. And GOMO Health's mission was to provide direct delivered resources to individuals in their moment in need. It's a very user-friendly platform, and we piloted it with a few different partners, and we got a great response. So we're really excited to launch it and push it out to the community. All right. So is it switching, everyone? The
Yes.
slides? Okay, perfect. All right, so the social program is a mobile care coordinator for people that are living in the Southern Ocean County, New Jersey, and are in need of employment, food insecurity, housing, transportation, education, recovery, and support challenges. It is a free program that includes personalized text messages. It can connect individuals to certain community resources, encourages engagement, really all of the above. Sorry if you hear my cat screaming. All right. So pretty much how to use it is they would text social to this number 43386, and they would receive this link, and pretty much all they need is their name, their phone number, and then their zip code. So this does geolocate resources to the area that they're looking for. So that's why they have to put their zip code in. Okay. So then once they enrolled, they will receive a few text messages within the week with just helpful information about employment, food security, housing, transportation. So it's going to look something like this. All right. And then they also could like text keywords, which I think is very interesting. They could text like cope, and it would be send coping strategies. They could send hope, and gives like inspire and motivates you, songs, which affirmations, meditation, uplifting. And then obviously they could do the food, house, job, recovery, just very simple, the word, and it sends the resources to you, and it pulls them from findhelp.org, and that's how this whole thing works. And that's really it. It's super simple, but if anyone has any questions, just let me know. We also have a bunch of materials, and we also have a postcard that has a QR code, which makes it a lot easier than sending, a text message to a certain number. It just automatically pulls you to the link and then registers you. So if anyone has any questions, just let me know.
Great. Thank you so much. Well, first
I know,
off,
sorry, super quick.
No worries. I just wanted to encourage you. You could send like any flyers or the QR code over to me, and then once I send out this recording to our staff, I'll include that. But not really a question, just something that I wanted to highlight. This is just such a great resource for our families or youth that are transitioning to adulthood, and we're transitioning services with them. I think this is just such a great resource to provide to them, that they'll be able to like look up these resources either via the text message or the find help directly. It's just very sustainable for our youth and families. So I would definitely encourage staff to share it with them.
Thank you so much. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's really user friendly and super easy. So I
awesome. Yeah,
suggest everyone to register, definitely.
I love the motivational stuff too. That's a really
Right.
nice
I think that's
touch.
so cool. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So yeah, feel free definitely to send me over any marketing materials or anything you have, and then I'll pass them along to our staff.
Sounds good.
Thank you, Morgan. All right, we're going to move over to Nathan. He is from the Trans Equity Coalition, and he's going to share some of the great stuff they have going on in the community right now.
Awesome. Thank you. And that was so wonderful to learn about. I'm really excited about that because I know that our clients and our audience could certainly use those services. So thank you, Morgan, for sharing that. I'm going to go ahead and see if I can share my presentation. Just let me know if you can see my screen or not.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. All right, so I'm just going to give you some like glossed over information about who we are at Trans Equity Coalition or TEC and some of the stuff that we offer. So first of all, I'm Nathan, he, him pronouns. I'm the executive director for Trans Equity Coalition. And we were founded in 2021 as a grassroots nonprofit, and we are exclusively facilitated by the gender diverse community. So yes, we do have allies that volunteer with us. They help us do things like promote events, fundraise, table with us. But everybody on the leadership team, everybody on the board, everybody in a decision-making capacity is trans or otherwise gender diverse. And this was just very intentional. This bias for us model really set us apart from certain contemporaries like larger LGBTQ plus organizations where unfortunately trans voices oftentimes get lost or are not involved in the decision-making process for those organizations. So we wanted to kind of set ourselves a little bit apart in that sense. And we can start with the very bare basics of what we offer. First thing being on our website. So for folks that support trans people in your lives or are transitioning themselves, we have some quick start guides on our website that can guide folks through things like I want to change my gender marker on my license. I want to update my birth certificate. What are my rights as a trans person in New Jersey? All those kinds of information that folks might want to know, either getting started or if things are changing in their along their gender journey. You can also find a free resource guide that is pretty extensive, and it covers everything from if you want to find an attorney, if you want to find a therapist, if you need a support group, if you need a doctor. There's a ton of resources on our website that you can just kind of browse through. These are vetted resources. We have spoken with them and confirmed what gender affirming options that they have and their experience in working with the community. So I definitely always recommend that to folks that might have specific questions of like, I have to pull my kid out of school because they're getting bullied for being trans, or like there's a lot of resources that you can find on our website. We have some recurring programs. So one of our most popular is all of our support groups. We have free support groups for trans adults 18 and up. We have a separate group for trans youth that goes that is like 17 and under. And then we also have a once monthly group of parents of trans people or families in general. And they meet the first Wednesday of every month. Their meeting is actually tonight since it's the first Wednesday. And they're really wonderful, safe spaces. They are done from home. So, you just tune in virtually. You can be anywhere and join our support groups. One of the really wonderful things is that our youth group, although the other two groups are peer to peer, just like support spaces, our youth group, because it's a little bit more sensitive, that is facilitated by a licensed mental health practitioner. We just do that for the safety of the kids. If anybody is expressing risky behavior, self-harm ideologies, like anything like that, our therapist can like pull them into a breakout space and really have a more in-depth conversation with them if they're at some type of risk of like running away or doing things that can be harmful. Um, we also offer some other recurring programs, and these are two more really popular ones that we offer. We have our free gender affirming yoga classes. Those occur in groups of 3. We just did one yesterday, then we have June 17th and July 1st. Those are free to tune in. You do them from home. You don't need any special equipment. And then the really wonderful thing about that is that our yoga teacher creates a space that is accessible to people. Maybe if you have a disability, if you have limited mobility, she offers a lot of different variations of poses that we do to make sure that everybody's getting the same experience. All ages are welcome for that programming. And the same thing with our gender affirming vocal classes. So obviously, one of the things that we see a lot of is like trans youth trying to get access to resources that are more and more being restricted or cut off. Um, our gender affirming yoga classes is a really good way to gain confidence without having to be on any hormones, without having to have any surgeries. It's just one more way that folks can feel more affirmed in their gender by just practicing different methodologies on how they can use their voice and alter their pitch and alter their cadence and stuff like that, and maybe be a little bit more perceived in the gender that they want to present as, without having to worry about I can't afford hormones or my doctor refuses to treat me because I'm 13 or whatever. Now we have our STAR program. This is one of our newest programs and that we're always extremely excited to offer. This is an emergency financial aid to trans people in need. As long as this person is a gender diverse person who resides in New Jersey, they are eligible to apply for the STAR program. It's very easy. You just go on our website, click on the link for our STAR program, and you fill out the appropriate application. They can apply for things like grocery gift cards, gas gift cards, ride sharing credit. They can get checks. They can also apply for things like emergency toiletries. If they're maybe unhoused or displaced, we can send them soaps, shampoos. They can check off wish list items if they maybe want a binder or they want like socks or underwear or snacks or whatever they might need to kind of have a little pick me up. Or if they are maybe struggling to get over to that next paycheck, we have those micro grants available. They range up to $100 per person. And then at the end of the application period, which in the current application period, it goes all the way through the month of June, we will review those in the order of most urgent first and approve as many of them as we can, depending on the amount of funds that we have for that grant cycle. So it's just a really great resource for trans people who are maybe in a little bit of a bind. It's the same even for like trans youth. If their family is just struggling to make ends meet, they can still apply for the STAR program and maybe get some aid with like their groceries for that month or something like that. We do a ton of special events. It's like impossible for me to list them all on like one slide or even in one presentation. We have a free community dinner that we do every year. We do that around Thanksgiving. Folks can come in and have a free hot meal. We also give them to-go containers, just reducing inaccessibility to food or really like reducing the amount of like processed foods that folks are having. In a recent survey that we did for the community, about 60% of the trans respondents indicated that they are skipping meals at least sometimes because they don't have access to food. So it's extremely important for us to be able to provide free meals to folks in the community. We do all kinds of fundraisers. We do educational workshops and panels. Everything, of course, is always listed on our website as they become available. They're also announced on our social media channels. We have some more special events that are coming up in the near future. We've got everything from an educational panel to some more social events. This is our first time doing a new initiative that we are calling Trans Joy July. And all month of July, we are hosting events that are just there to generate trans joy and help folks get their raise their vibration, so to speak, because right now we are under attack. All that we are doing is constantly advocating, constantly lobbying, and it's really exhausting, and particularly for trans youth that are the most vulnerable. There's a large sense of people going back in the closet, feeling like they have no agency, being afraid that their rights are being taken away. So all month of July, we're doing events to hold community, just lift people's spirits. We've got a pizza party coming up. There's also a trans wellness retreat where folks can come in. We'll do like a full 4 hour session that includes yoga, acupuncture, meditation. Um, it If allies want to get involved, they can also sponsor a ticket for the wellness retreat. That way, if anybody finds it cost prohibitive, they can go on the wait list for free, and we can have an ally sponsor their ticket so that that person can put their wellness first and just for once have a day that is just them decompressing. We've got a picnic coming up that is, again, great for all ages, great for the whole family. We also have an employment fair in August that is specifically a trans employment fair. This is really wonderful for either young folks that are just starting their career and want to know if they can work somewhere that is affirming to their gender journey, or even for adults who are looking to change careers, or they might be disenfranchised in some way and not having reliable income. This is a great way for us to contribute to the financial independence and building equity in the gender diverse community. Again, all of these plus many, many more events that are not even listed here are all on the website. And TEC also offers a ton of services. So on our boards and on our committees, we have everybody from licensed mental health practitioners, public speakers, group facilitators, etc. So we do go into workplaces, we do diversity trainings, we've done trainings at medical facilities and helping create a more culturally competent medical facility. We did that for CME credit so that the providers could also receive credit for the classes that we were giving them. And all of these are offered at sliding scale rates or potentially for free, depending on the size of the organization, or whether it's a nonprofit or a corporation. So absolutely, if anybody here knows of a workplace or a company or any teams that are looking to have trans specific training, it can be as general as how do I properly use a pronoun to really deep dive on like gender theory and understanding the evolution of the queer movement. We can really tailor make it to whatever level of learning somebody wants to achieve. And lastly, just putting out the reminder that we always need the support of our audience. We are a grassroots nonprofit. There's so many ways to get involved, either by donating on our website, spreading the word about our services, spreading the word about our events, and we're also just signing up to volunteer if you want to spend some time with the community and learning how to be more involved with aiding the gender diverse community, particularly now under the current administration and all of the current attacks that are happening in our community. So that's it. That's just a little gloss over. We offer many, many more things. It was really hard to just kind of condense it and put it all in one spot. But I always recommend check us out at transequitycoalition.org, or follow us at Trans Equity Coalition on most of your major social media platforms. And we would love to connect with y'all. Thank you.
Wow, what are y'all not doing to support the community? I mean, oh my gosh, I'm like blown away. by all of just the amazing initiatives and resources that you're providing gender non-conforming folks. So thank you, Nathan. I had a question really quick. So if a youth or family is interested in, say, one of the programs or the support groups, how would they access that? Is there a
So
referral form or?
yes, there's an intake form on the website. So for example, for our youth group, they would just sign up with an email address. It could be the parent's email address if the parent is on board. Some youth, for obvious reasons, do not take that route. On the intake form, we do have the youth indicate to us who is your trusted adult that you can list in the event of an emergency, because obviously we need to know we can contact somebody, but not everybody comes from a gender affirming home. So it can be a coach, it could be an aunt, it can be, a pastor, just somebody that they trust that we can call and say, hey, something really urgent is going on. But other than that, again, everything is kept safe and confidential, and that is facilitated by a mental health practitioner for that reason. For the folks that are 18 and up, it's just like a community agreement of like, we're respecting each other's privacy, and that um, it is a peer run group. So if there is moments of crises, we are here to help each other facilitate that either through crisis hotlines or getting emergency services if needed. But really, it is a great space for folks to really just hold space, and it's very easy to sign up on the website.
Great. Any other questions for Nathan? Well, thank you so much for your time. Thank you, both of you, Nathan and Morgan. It's much appreciated. Feel free to send me any emails, marketing materials, flyers, anything that you feel like our care managers would benefit from knowing, and I will send it out with the recording. Thank you so much. Have a great day.
Thank you.